myself, Seshadri Basak, right? I have been in the field of digital marketing and media for the last 15 years, right? I've worked across like 7 countries with various kinds of projects, from education to SaaS to health industry, automobiles, constructions, then advertising and media. Okay. I've handled over more than 35 projects, right? I've worked with a lot of startups also to streamline their marketing process, to streamline their automation, to streamline their business online. Now, when it comes to my institution, that is ICA and IDCM, ICA stands for Institute of Computer Accounts, and IDCM stands for Institute of Digital and Content Marketing. ICA is there in the market since last 23 years, and we are the pioneer in the retail education sector, where we aim to make one thing very clear, that if a candidate has a skill, or if a candidate can develop the skill in the fields of account, taxation, banking, finance, right, there are n number of job opportunities. We are registered with more than 70,000 plus employers, registered employers, and not any kind of companies or placements and all, registered employers, right? So we started the first concept of do the course, get a job guarantee, or else your money is refunded. So the 100% job guarantee courses was a concept which was launched by ICA in 1999, and we believe in that motto. We don't just aim to provide training in Tally, GST, or SAP FICO and all. We aim to provide a training which will ensure a job to them. Okay, so this motto has been from the first and last till date also, right? And over the years, with this particular motto, that let's remove the unemployment quotient from the market of the Indian youth, right? So keeping that, we have expanded across 23 states over the India. We have more than 100 plus centers, right? We are completely a classroom based training, but after the pandemic also we came up with online courses. Now when it comes to IDCM, IDCM is a flagship venture of ICA EduSkills, which got started from the year 2020 Feb, right before the pandemic period. And apart from IDCM, ICA has another verticals also. There is the University Alliance, right, where we are providing job guaranteed BCom courses in the fields of accounts and banking. We are tied up with universities like Sharda, GD Goenka, Techno India, Royal Global University in Assam. Okay, so now coming down to ExtraaEdge, right? So the first thing which I like to mention is ExtraaEdge is another one of the platforms who dedicatedly focuses for the edtech or the retail education sector, especially, right? So during this 50 years of journey, I have used brands like Zoho, LeadSquare, Salesforce now, but there are multi-industry CRM or a lead management system, right? So to give an example, Salesforce and LeadSquare are also used by companies where I've worked. To give an example of a bigger pan-India name like Sham Steel, right? But it's not an education industry. They cater support to every industry. But ExtraaEdge was one kind of a CRM platform, a lead management platform, who dedicatedly ensured automation for smooth admission, from inquiry to enrollment to lead nurturing to streamlining process with one niche objective. That was the best part that I've come when I came to know about ExtraaEdge and when I started using ExtraaEdge. Before ExtraaEdge, ICA was managing this entire huge pan-India process manually. Not only manually, they have also tried to get developed a lot of in-house things, up bol sakte hai, or also we were with other CRMs and all. But we wanted a more robust platform, a platform which with a very simple UI UX, so that from counselors to business partners to career advisors can use it without putting up an extra effort, right? Even simpler than Google Sheet or an Excel. So using ExtraaEdge, we used to do manually, as I mentioned. We use a third-party CRMs also, but streamlining the process via ExtraaEdge, right? Catering to the only particular focusing that we are doing, education industry. Now, entire process from enrollment to complete admission, right, is currently done through ExtraaEdge. So without ExtraaEdge, the enrollment process won't be completed. So currently all the centers, 120 plus centers across Pan India, are using ExtraaEdge, and they are bound to follow the process of automation. What kind of automation? Inquiry to enrollment automation. Yes. So first of all, the most important thing is that understanding a buyer persona journey, right? For example, if someone is using a Google Sheet, Microsoft Excel and all for MISS, which still a lot of companies and people practice the same, but the buyer persona, the inquiry journey needs to have a track. And when I'm talking about the tracking mechanism, it's need to have a track of every touch points that particular inquiry or the particular customer is traveling along. So the major challenges was that connecting all the dots, right? So I have to take some dots from here, some dots from there, some dots from here. So now it's a process ultimately where there's a lot of leakage happens. The moment for brands like ICA, manual works comes on, data leakage will be 100%. Even if someone is saying there is 0% data leakage, right? It's not fact, going by data. Every industry, everywhere, I have seen the main struggle of online business is that they are not able to touch the data points, the touch points, which happens to be the data leakage. If data inquiries leads, there's a leakage, right? If you're not covering all the touch points, you will definitely have some data, but you are losing where you are investing your time and money. That was the major challenge, and ExtraaEdge helped us to get the loopholes covered and centralized all the touch points to one place. Because challenges is that when it's about our TG, right? They are a Gen Z TG. So our TG is between 18 years to 27 years, right? Now, based on that TG, they can go anywhere across digital platforms, right? That can be Google, that can be social media, that can be a phone call, that can be an email, everywhere. Now, wherever they are moving around, right? ExtraaEdge helps us to attach our string with them, which we can pull anytime to track the movement of that particular lead or inquiry or that customer. That was the best string. ExtraaEdge was that string or the knot which we got. So the key results, so give an example. So let's talk about the entire digital platform. So before using ExtraaEdge, right, overall business via automation and digital used to be hardly 5% to 10% through digital platforms and all, right? I'm not talking about the physical inquiries, because physical inquiries, the touch points, people who are coming and knocking at your door, you have much more control over them compared to people who are digitally knocking or doing an inquiry, right? So after we started using ExtraaEdge, we streamlined the process digitally. Now we are almost contributing 25 to 35% of admissions pan India with the support of digitalization. That can be automation, that can be lead nurturing, that can be lead communication, everything. That is number one. Now, the number two is that the best part where, so when it comes to a digital media, right, you know, when two systems speaks, for example, ExtraaEdge is one of the system, IC is one of the system. Now, when the two systems are there and they need to speak with each other in real time, मतलब ऐसा दो दोस्त जिसको एक दूसरे के बारे में सब पता है, right? So that system needs to be कैसे होता है, मतलब me as well as my friend needs to walk along in a tied up manner. और वो तभी होता है when both the people are in the same page or are of the same mentality or of the same practice with support to each other. So ExtraaEdge में क्या हुआ, the two systems are speaking so smoothly, which helped us to take the things very fast, as I mentioned, like, so from 2017 till date, right, things wouldn't have been improved in this manner if the systems were not speaking smoothly in real time. So we speak in real time, and this is possible just because of the support, the enormous support that we get from the team. Be it in a working hour, be it in a business hour, or be it in a non-business hour, ExtraaEdge has been there. And as a leader leading the digital part of ICA, right, I have seen that whatever new integrations comes up, training, doubt clearing, they don't hesitate in investing their time, right? They don't hesitate to do any kind of pilot activities. They are not tying up the client or the customer with limitations, which most of the brands do, right, in the CRM or the lead management markets. So that was the best part of ExtraaEdge, especially this after sales support. So in the SaaS industry, to be very specific, right? So I'm a person who have used SaaS products in all the projects that I have used, right? So when it comes to the working in the Indian market or abroad, right? SaaS is a market which gets defined with two things. That is the pricing, and another is the after sales supports. These two define our SaaS in terms of its brand, in terms of its reputation in the market. Very flexible pricing, because initially people, to make people believe in the digital system, pricing is very an important point, right? Because people gets panic, what I will get, what I will not get, but मुझे invest इतना करना है. So this flexible pricing has helped us me to initiate the process or to inject that process. And then number two, which I mentioned, the after sales supports. It's adding a price tag to every support after sales, having different clauses, right? So इसमें क्या होता है, the experience of both the vendor, the client gets hampered. And when it comes, the client and the vendor, the both two experience get hampered. Na? Very surprisingly, what happens is that the customer gets impacted. ये सबको दिखता नहीं है, but it is a fact. So these two loopholes na, was very smooth journey, closing journey with ExtraaEdge. Any one thing about ExtraaEdge, best part is the customs reports, the custom dashboard, the after sales support. So let me explain one by one what we mean by custom reports. So every organization, every brand have their own way of data penetration, have their own style or architecture of finding or doing analysis via data driven processes. So obviously when it comes to various way to see the data, right, I can see a figure 10 in terms of 10 into 1 10, right, 10 plus 0 10, but how I would like to see, and the entire thing needs to be customized in the way I would like to see. Why? Because every industry have a different objective, different strategies, different processes, especially like a brand of ICA, which is like a national level brand, right? The custom reports were very important. So we had certain report structure for sales, we have certain report structures for the head, the verticals, the admins, for me and my team, for the chairman, for the CEO desk, right? So these custom reports have helped us a lot in understanding the actual investments and the actual ROI. Right? This is an excellent part where we have got all the supports when it comes to custom reports, be it we create or be it ExtraaEdge create. They have provided us that window. They're given us that space where we can go and do the DIY thing. Number two, custom integrations. As I mentioned, IC is the only institute to have this kind of franchisee networks. India में education business via franchisee network में, the number of franchisee partners we have, none of the brands have that. Right? So now coming to that point, everything needs to be very customized so that I can cater support to everyone, all the partners, all the franchisee partners, right? That was another part where they helped partners individually in terms of setting up training and also again terms of report structuring and all. Last one, again, without intervention of head office, without intervention of me or my team, partners are able to reach out to ExtraaEdge seamlessly, and they can easily get the queries, the issues, and whatever doubts get resolved. Best part about ExtraaEdge. So as I mentioned, three things in SaaS are the most important platforms, right? So the number one is obviously in this industry, whether you talk on a global market or you talk on an Indian market, the pricing part, very flexible. Right? Number one. Number two, they understand the client requirement. They make the product flexible as per the client and don't ask the client to get aligned with their product, right? So it's members, it's a custom tailor made. So to give an example, if you are buying, like going for e-commerce shopping and all, you get a ready-made dress, right? But I am a person, or there are other people also who likes to be get it tailor-made, so that I have the best fitting, I have the best experience, I'm having a very comfort journey whatever I'm wearing. So that tailor-made concept is really there when it comes to ExtraaEdge usage, or ExtraaEdge as a CRM or a lead management system. That is number one. The number two part is that, as I mentioned, like providing support not within only dedicated business hours or dedicated working hours, right? And not saying no. Till date, in this like almost 4 years of journey with ICA and ExtraaEdge, I haven't seen ExtraaEdge saying a no to any of the situations. They have taken time in terms of development, maybe, or in terms of deployment, but they have done what we have asked for. And last but not the least is what that when it comes to the franchisee partners now for our education sector like us, or even when it comes to a client-based organizations where you're providing either software as a service or service as a service, right? You are able to reach directly to a issue point, directly to a people who can resolve the issue instantly, instead of covering each of the dots and ultimately reaching to that point, right? So that is the best part, and I would recommend anyone who wants to make their automation feature robust in terms of lead management, lead nurturing, touching the various digital data points from where data leakage can be minimalized, right? Then ExtraaEdge is the option in today's time to go for. So ExtraaEdge, right? So if I define the customer success manager for ExtraaEdge, so in short form, it stands EE, right? So excellence in excellent. This is what I would say. That when we talk about the word excellent, ExtraaEdge is actually defining the both E. They are excelling in the terminology of excellent.